This is the question I get asked more than any other. More than why do they come back? More than what does it mean when they go silent? More than am I asking for too much? The question is this: can they actually change? Or am I waiting for something that will never come? And I want to give you a real answer to that. Not the answer that feels good, not the answer that keeps you watching this channel, the answer that the research actually supports. Because here's what I've noticed. Most content on this topic goes one of two directions. Direction one is false hope. Of course they can change. Love is enough. Give them time. No citations, no evidence, just optimism dressed up as wisdom. Direction two is cynicism. Avoidants never change. Leave now. Run. Also, no citations, just pain dressed up as clarity. The research tells a more complicated, more honest, and ultimately more useful story than either of those. So today, using peer-reviewed studies published in 2024 and 2025, I'm going to answer 4 specific questions. Can avoidant attachment actually change? Under what conditions does it change? What does real change actually look like, and how do you know it's happening? And the one most people forget to ask, what is your role in whether it changes? Let's start with the most important word in this entire conversation. The most important word, can versus will. When people ask, can an avoidant change, what they almost always mean is, will my avoidant change? Those are completely different questions, and the research answers them very differently. Can avoidant attachment change? Yes, the evidence is clear on this. Attachment styles are not genetically fixed. They are not permanent personality traits. They are learned patterns, and what was learned can, under the right conditions, be unlearned and replaced. Will a specific person change? That depends on 3 things the research identifies very precisely: awareness, motivation, and the willingness to do the specific kind of work that actually moves the needle. All 3 have to be present. 1 or 2 is not enough. And here is the uncomfortable truth I want you to sit with from the start of this video. You cannot supply any of those 3 things for another person. You can create an environment that makes change more possible, but awareness, motivation, and willingness, those have to come from them. Keep that in mind as we go through the evidence. The evidence that change is real. Part 1. What the research says about change. Let's start with the good news, because it is genuinely good news. A 2024 landmark review published in Social and Personality Psychology Compass, one of the most comprehensive analyses of adult attachment change ever conducted, found that people generally trend toward security over time. Across multiple longitudinal studies, both avoidance and anxiety scores tend to decrease as people age, particularly when they are in stable, committed relationships. But here is the critical detail that most people miss when they hear this finding. The change is not automatic. It is not simply the passage of time. The research identified specific mechanisms, specific things that have to happen for that movement towards security to occur. Time alone does not change attachment. Specific experiences do. The same 2024 review found something even more striking for the avoidance specifically. A study cited within it found that having frequent daily positive relationship events brought more attachment security to avoidantly attached individuals over time. Not grand gestures, not ultimatums, not breakthroughs. Daily, small, positive interactions accumulated over months. And a longitudinal study of 134 committed couples, published in a leading social psychology journal, found that trust, specifically perceiving a partner as reliably available and dependable, was the primary mechanism that reduced attachment avoidance over a 1-year period. Not passion, not compatibility on paper, not how much the avoidant loves you. Trust, built slowly, through consistent, low-drama reliability. That is what the data says moves avoidant attachment towards security over time. Part 2. The conditions that must be present. The 3 conditions research identifies. So we know change is possible. Now let's talk about what conditions have to be present for it to actually happen. The research is specific. Condition 1. The avoidant person must have awareness of their pattern. This sounds obvious, but there's a critical distinction the research makes that most conversations miss. A 2025 integrative review in PMC, synthesizing decades of clinical and neuroscience research, confirmed that avoidantly attached individuals are organized around deactivating regulatory strategies that operate largely outside conscious awareness. Their brain suppresses the emotional signal before it becomes a conscious thought. What this means, practically, an avoidant can intellectually recognize the label avoidant attachment and still have zero felt awareness of how the pattern operates in real time. They can read every book on the subject and still withdraw the moment you get close, because the deactivation happens faster than their conscious mind can intervene. Real awareness, the kind that enables change, is not reading about avoidant attachment. It is noticing in the moment that the impulse to withdraw has arrived and choosing differently. That is a completely different skill, and it requires intentional, usually therapeutic work to develop. Intellectual awareness does not equal the awareness that enables change. Condition 2. The motivation must be internal, not external. The research on this is consistent across multiple studies. Avoidants who attempt to change because their partner pressured them, issued ultimatums, or threatens to leave show short-term behavioral shifts that do not hold over time. The underlying nervous system pattern remains intact. Avoidants who change do so because something in their own experience, often the repeated loss of relationships or the private recognition that their independence has cost them something they actually valued, has made the pain of staying the same greater than the pain of changing. That internal cost-benefit shift cannot be manufactured from the outside. It arrives on its own timeline, or it doesn't arrive at all. Condition 3. The work must target the nervous system, not just the mind. This is where therapy becomes not optional, but essential for real change. A 2024 study from the University of Copenhagen, published in a major psychotherapy journal and involving 330 adult clients across 44 therapists, found that avoidantly attached clients who developed a genuinely secure therapeutic attachment to their therapist showed measurable reductions in interpersonal problems by end of treatment. Specifically, clients who developed what researchers call earned secure therapeutic attachment, a new relational experience of safety within the therapy relationship itself, showed the most significant outcomes. The key word is earned, not given, not explained, experienced. The avoidance nervous system had to actually live through a relationship in which closeness felt safe, and do that repeatedly over time until the association began to shift. That is what therapy provides that no amount of reading, understanding, or patient partnering can replicate. Part 3. What real change looks like and how to recognize it. What genuine progress actually looks like. This section matters enormously because one of the most painful traps people fall into is misreading performance as change. An avoidant who has been pressured into therapy or who knows you're about to leave can display changed behavior for weeks or even months. They open up more, they initiate more, they seem warmer, and then, gradually or suddenly, the old patterns return. That is not change. That is accommodation under pressure, and the research distinguishes the two clearly. So what does genuine progress look like? Sign 1. They notice the shutdown happening and name it in real time, not after the fact, not in a calm conversation 2 days later, in the moment. Something like, I notice I'm pulling back right now. I don't totally understand why. Can we slow down? This is evidence of what clinicians call metacognitive awareness, the ability to observe one's own nervous system response while it's happening. Research consistently identifies this as the first genuine marker of movement toward earned security. Sign 2. Repair is attempted and initiated by them. Securely attached relationships are not defined by the absence of rupture. They are defined by repair. A 2025 longitudinal study published in Frontiers in Psychology confirmed that earned secure attachment is built primarily through the experience of rupture, followed by genuine repair, not through the absence of conflict. An avoidant who is genuinely changing will increasingly attempt to re-engage after a shutdown. Not perfectly, not immediately, but they come back. They acknowledge what happened. They don't let it silently accumulate. Real change equals rupture followed by repair, not the absence of rupture. Sign 3. Their window of tolerance for closeness is visibly expanding slowly. If the same level of emotional intimacy that used to trigger a 3-day shutdown now triggers a 3-hour quiet period, that is measurable progress. The nervous system is expanding its capacity, slowly, but it's moving. The 2024 Social and Personality Psychology Compass Review confirmed this is exactly how change unfolds in avoidantly attached individuals, not in breakthroughs, but in gradual expansion of what the nervous system can tolerate without deactivating. Sign 4. They seek help independently without being asked. This is the clearest signal of all. When an avoidant chooses on their own, without prompting, to enter therapy, do attachment work, read genuinely not to satisfy you, but to understand themselves, that is internal motivation activating. That is the condition the research identifies as the one that produces lasting change. Part 4. The question nobody asks: your role in this. The question most people don't ask themselves. Here is the part of this conversation that most channels skip entirely, and I think it's actually the most important part. What is your role in whether your avoidant partner changes? The research on this is nuanced and a little uncomfortable. On one hand, the 2024 longitudinal study we discussed earlier found something remarkable. If one partner becomes more secure, their partner tends to also become more secure over time. The relationship environment itself is contagious. A secure partner creates conditions that make avoidant change more likely. More secure individuals may create safer relationship environments that leave their partners to become more secure over time. That is genuinely hopeful. It means your own emotional health is not irrelevant to their growth. But, and this is critical, the same research also found the reverse. If one partner becomes more avoidant, the other also trends more avoidance, meaning that staying in a relationship where you are chronically anxious, chronically pursuing, and chronically having your needs unmet does not just hurt you, it actively makes the dynamic worse for both of you. Your anxiety feeds their avoidance feeds your anxiety. The cycle is contagious. This means the most powerful thing you can do for your avoidant partner's growth, counterintuitively, is to do your own work, regulate your own nervous system, build your own life, stop over-functioning in the relationship, get your own therapy if needed. Not because you are the problem, but because a regulated, secure functioning partner is the single environmental condition most consistently associated with avoidant movement towards security in the research. You cannot do their work, but you can stop doing things that make their work harder.
Let me be honest with you about something the research does not sugarcoat. Change in avoidant attachment does not happen in weeks. It does not happen because of one breakthrough conversation, or one particularly honest argument, or one ultimatum that finally lands. The timeline the research identifies is months, plural, under optimal conditions. The 2024 Chopik Review, the most comprehensive longitudinal analysis of attachment change currently available, found that avoidant individuals showed measurable movement toward security after 12 months of consistent positive relational experiences. Not 12 weeks, 12 months. And that was under conditions where both partners were engaged, the relationship was stable, and the daily positive interactions were genuinely accumulating. That is the honest timeline, and it matters that you know it going in. So the timeline question becomes deeply personal, and I cannot answer it for you. How long are you willing to wait? Not as a rhetorical challenge, as a genuine question that deserves a genuine answer from you, to yourself, honestly, without the filter of hope or fear. The research gives us two questions that matter more than any other when you are in this situation. The first, are they actively doing the specific nervous system level work the research identifies as necessary? Not reading about it, not acknowledging the pattern in theory, actually in therapy, actually doing the work. The second, while you wait to find out, are your own needs being met right now? Both questions matter equally, and only you can answer them honestly. Because the research on what staying in an avoidant relationship costs you is equally clear. A 2025 study on attachment avoidance and intimacy decline found that expressive suppression in avoidant partners, their pattern of blocking emotional response, has measurable long-term interpersonal costs for the partner, your sense of being emotionally supported, your psychological well-being, your own attachment security over time. Those costs accumulate, independent of how much love is present, independent of how much you understand their nervous system. Are your needs being met right now? That question deserves an honest answer. This is not a reason to leave, it is information. The research tells us that loving someone and the relationship being sustainable for you are two genuinely different questions. Both can be true simultaneously. The love can be real, and the relationship can still be costing you more than it is giving you. Only you know which side of that equation you are currently on. I want you to be able to hold both of those truths at the same time without collapsing into either one. The love is real, and the cost is real. They can change, and the timeline is long. You understand them, and your needs matter too. Holding both of those things simultaneously, without resolving the tension by choosing to believe only one of them, that is the most honest place you can stand in this situation. And I want to acknowledge how hard that place is to stand in. Most content in this space will push you toward one side or the other. Either stay and be patient because love is enough, or leave immediately because avoidance never change. The research does not support either of those positions, and you deserve better than a false binary. What you deserve is the actual evidence, and the space to make your own decision with clear eyes.
I want to end the analytical part of this video with something the research says that I find genuinely moving. It is called earned secure attachment, and it is one of the most hopeful findings in all of relationship psychology. Earned secure attachment describes the process by which someone who was never given security in childhood, someone who developed avoidant or anxious patterns as a survival response to early experiences, builds genuine security through repeated corrective experiences in adulthood. Not through understanding, not through reading the right books or watching the right videos, through experience, lived, felt, repeated. The past for an avoidant is not destiny. That is what the research says, and I think that matters. The University of Copenhagen study, 330 adult clients across 44 therapists, found something striking. Avoidantly attached clients who developed what researchers called earned secure therapeutic attachment, a genuine experience of safety within the therapy relationship itself, showed measurable reductions in interpersonal problems by the end of treatment. Not clients who simply understood their attachment pattern intellectually, clients who experienced safety, repeatedly, in real time, with a real person, and whose nervous systems gradually began to update the association between closeness and danger. The key word the researchers used was earned, not given, not explained, earned. Through the repeated experience of being vulnerable and not being abandoned, of having a need and having it responded to, of the therapist staying present through difficulty rather than withdrawing.
That accumulation of corrective experiences over months of consistent therapeutic work is what actually shifts the nervous system's fundamental association between closeness and threat. That is what therapy provides that no amount of patience or love from a partner can replicate, not because the partner's love is insufficient, because the nervous system needs a specific kind of repeated relational experience to update its core programming. And here is what that means practically. If your avoidant partner is in therapy, real therapy, with a therapist they have developed genuine trust with, working on attachment specifically, their nervous system is being given the raw material it needs to change. If they are not, if they are reading about it, watching videos about it, intellectually engaging with the concept, they have the map but not the territory. The map does not change the nervous system. The territory does. The most encouraging version of this picture, and the one the research most consistently supports, is two people doing their own work simultaneously. Not one person waiting while the other changes. Not one person doing all the emotional labor while the other observes. Two people, each in their own process, each expanding their own capacity, each contributing to a relationship environment that becomes gradually safer for both of them. That is what earned security looks like when it works. Slowly, imperfectly, but genuinely. So let me bring this all together. Can an avoidant partner actually change? Yes. The evidence is clear and it is genuinely hopeful. Attachment avoidance is not a life sentence. Real, measurable, lasting change is documented in the research, in therapy, in stable relationships, through the accumulation of daily positive experiences, through the slow building of earned trust over time. But change requires awareness, real felt awareness, not just intellectual recognition. It requires internal motivation, the kind that comes from inside, not from pressure. And it requires the specific kind of work that reaches the nervous system, not just the mind. And now you have something most people in this situation do not have. You have the actual evidence. You know what real change looks like. You know what conditions produce it. You know the honest timeline. And you know what questions to ask, of them and of yourself. That clarity is worth something, even when the answer it points toward is hard.
Closing. I want to end this video with something the research says that I find genuinely moving. The concept of earned secure attachment, the idea that someone who was never given security in childhood can build it through repeated corrective experiences in adulthood, is one of the most hopeful findings in all of relationship psychology. It means the past is not destiny, but it also means that the corrective experience has to actually happen. It has to be lived, it has to be felt in the body, not just understood in the mind. Whether that happens inside your relationship, or in therapy, or in the next relationship, that is not something I can predict for you or for them. What I can tell you is that now you have the actual evidence. You know what change looks like, you know what conditions produce it, and you know what questions to ask, of them and of yourself. That clarity is worth something, even when the answer it points to is hard. The next video in this series tackles something slightly different, the question of why so many people who were hurt by avoidant relationships find themselves in another one. The research on this is fascinating and a little unsettling. Link is right here. I'll see you there.